Ellsworth, Kansas. Wow. This place is one of the best places ever. It's a small town, but it is one of the most amazing places ever. It's great, and I'm choosing to do my Kansas Voices project over it. I'm choosing to do my project over Ellsworth, Kansas, not because I'm from Ellsworth, but because all my family's from Ellsworth. My grandparents, my great-grandparents, most of my cousins. I'm not from Ellsworth, but I did spend most of my childhood there. It has a very, very special place in my heart. Ellsworth is so cool that Rascal Flatts wrote a song about it. My grandma always told me that if you were to fold Kansas into 4 pieces, Ellsworth would be smack dab in the middle, and she's not wrong. I've tried it before. Ellsworth wasn't always a city. In 1864, it was actually Fort Ellsworth. It was on the very edge of the frontier. Fort Ellsworth was renamed Fort Harker in 1866. Fort Harker became the major supply post for the military. It is crazy at Fort Harker. So in that atmosphere, the idea of Ellsworth was conceived. Ellsworth, Kansas is known as one of the wickedest cow towns in Kansas. Before 1872, the Texas cattle trade had been going through Albany, but in 1872, they abandoned Albany, and the wild Texas Longhorn trailed through the streets of Ellsworth to the Kansas Pacific stockyards. So they would go get the cattle from Texas and drive them all the way up through Ellsworth and to their stockyards. Ellsworth businessmen, anticipating the shift in the cattle trade from Albany, moved the drover's cottage, once owned by Joseph McCoy, to Ellsworth in 1872. It could accommodate 175 guests and stable 50 carriages and 100 horses. Numerous other businesses also sprang up, profiting immensely from the cowboys. In 1873, Ellsworth geared up for one of the largest drives of Texas Longhorns to date. They expected trouble, so they hired additional police officers to keep the rowdy cowboys in check. Ellsworth kept its wicked reputation until the shipping pens were finally closed in 1875. In its peak year, in 1873, approximately 220,000 head of longhorn cattle were driven through the town. As you could have guessed, Ellsworth, Kansas is no longer a wicked cow town. However, at 210 North Douglas Street in Ellsworth, there is a National Drovers Hall of Fame museum. There's also a Fort Harker Museum, which is located 5 miles southeast of Ellsworth in the tiny town of Kannapolis. Ellsworth actually does live reenactments. I was about 7 when I went to my first live reenactment. One of my great uncles actually got to drive some of the cattle up from Texas to Ellsworth. They marched them right through the middle of Ellsworth. They do it about, I'm not really sure how often they do it now because they want it to be special. But it's so cool because everyone looks exactly how they looked in 1873. Ellsworth, Kansas is a wicked cow town. It's a song, but most importantly, it's one of my many homes. If you ever have the chance to go to Ellsworth, to meet anyone from Ellsworth, do it. Because the town's amazing, the people's amazing, its history's amazing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this.